Hey guys, this is MathewAlden, and right now you're watching my Transporter tutorial. Now, if you've just come across this video, Transporter is a bucket plugin that allows two Minecraft servers to connect together, and then the players can go in between the servers as if they're just different worlds on the same server. And this is my tutorial for that plugin. Now, a couple things I want to mention before I start. First of all, this plugin is really complicated and has a ton of configuration options. I'm not going to cover everything in this tutorial. I'm just going to focus on the most important and the most difficult of the functions this plugin has, which is actually synchronizing two servers together. Because this plugin is so complicated at times, if you're connecting servers for the first time, I recommend you follow the commands I use word for word. Even if you want to use the same names as stuff that I'm using, that might help you if you're new at this. And finally, please turn on annotations, because if I need to make any corrections to the video, like if the plugin gets updated or something and this video becomes a bit outdated, I will make corrections through annotations. So please make sure those are on. And then let's get started. So, of course, it's a bucket plugin for connecting servers. So, of course, you're going to need two bucket servers, both running the Transporter plugin. I have big server and small server. Now, you will also need to have full permissions on each of these servers, or else you won't be able to use the proper commands. Doing all this is pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to cover this in the tutorial. I've already done all this. So now to the actual plugin itself. First thing, you're going to connect to your first server, which is, for me, it's big server. And to get started, first thing you're going to do is build a gate. In order to travel from server to server, players walk through gates or portals, just like the Nether portal. And to build one, you do TRP design build nether. And it builds one of these. Now this looks like a nether gate, and it's called a nether gate, but it isn't. It's actually a multi-server gate. Now in order to finalize the construction, you're going to take down this sign, put it back in the exact same spot, and name your gate. I'm going to name mine Big Gate. So now the gate has been created, the server is recognizing it as a gate, everything's working. Now back to small server. I'm going to do the same thing, TRP design build nether. Take off the sign, put it back in the same spot. But this server I'm going to name, or this gate, I'm going to name it Small Gate. Gates should have different names like that. Okay, so back to big server. Now I've created the physical means for people to travel back and forth. Now I just need to link the servers together over the internet. So, first thing I'm going to do is set a password for each server. This plugin uses a sort of passkey system, just to make sure you actually have permission to connect to the server you're actually trying to connect to. So, I'm on big server, I'm going to set the password to big. So I'm going to do TRP network set key big. Nope, I'm sorry. What did I do wrong? TRP network set key big. Okay, I made a mistake the first time, but that's the plugin. That's the command. TRP network set key big. So the password is set. It's all working. Go back to small server. I'm going to set the password on this server now. TRP network set key small. That's working. Back to big server. So now both servers have gates, both servers have passkeys. Now I just have to start the process of syncing them up. First thing, I'm going to connect big server to small server. So right now I'm on big server. I'm going to type TRP server add small server. Now right here, this is the only part, if you're following this word for word, letter for letter, this is the only part that will not be the same as mine, I guarantee it. Right now you're going to type in the IP address of small server. For me, the IP address is 192.168.1.67. For you, it's going to definitely be a different number. And finally, for the last argument, you're going to type the passkey of small server, which we just set to small. So big server is now trying to connect to small server. Now I'm going to go to small server and tell it to respond to the connection. So trp server add big server 192.168.1.64 big. Now as you see, the name is different, the password is different, and finally the IP address is also different. And I have added big server. Now I'm going to pause the video just for a second and make sure everything's working, because every once in a while it will break here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The servers are connected for me, but for you, I actually wouldn't be surprised if they are not connected for you yet. The next step is outside of Minecraft. It's one that I can't really show you. You just have to be able to know how to do it. You have to open holes in your firewall in order to allow the servers to connect properly. This plugin, running the default settings, uses port 25555. You're going to need to open port 25555 in all the firewalls between the servers. If you're running Hamachi, you should already be fine. Hamachi should take care of that for you, go around the firewall. If you're not running Hamachi, then I'm sure you already know how to open a port because you would have had to do it to run your server. So pause the video right now, or open the ports, and you're going to have to figure out how to do that yourself, because like I said, it's different for everyone in every situation. Okay, I've already done this. I opened all the ports up before I started the video. And so now, one last thing you should do to make sure all your ports are open, everything's working up to this point, is to use this command, trp server ping big server. And it pinged big server replied, everything's working, all the firewalls are good, Minecraft is working, transport is working, we're all good. Okay, so back to big server. Oops, one moment, time set to spell words correctly, there. Okay, so now we have the physical means of connecting, the servers are synchronized on the internet, now we just have to open the portals to each other. So the command we're going to use is, and one last thing, this command is assuming that your world name is the default world. Minecraft, you can change the name of your server. If your server's name is not world, you might have to change the command slightly, but assuming you are using the default name for your world, you're going to use trp gate link add. Now I'm on big server, so the first thing is big gate space small server dot world dot small gate, and finally REV, which means two-way connection. Hit that, you'll see the sign change. Punch it. If water comes down, everything is working. Now don't go through the portal yet. Do not go through the portal yet. In order for this plugin to work, you will need a small client-side mod in order to handle the transportation between servers. So what you're going to do right now is exit out of your Minecraft, find transporter.jar, the jar file for the plugin, and double click it. Not only is it a bucket plugin, but it also doubles as an executable jar file, and it will mod your client. All you have to do is hit like patch or something like that. It's pretty easy, really automatic. Just go exit out of Minecraft, double click the jar file, patch your Minecraft, and come back on. Again, I have already done, for simplicity, I've already done this before I started the tutorial. So finally, last step, the final test. Everything should be linked up, the gates are linked up, the internet's linked up, your client is patched. Final test to make sure it's working is stepping through the gate. And I'm through. I'm in the other server. From here on out, you won't have to patch anything else. It's totally automatic. You can just walk in between servers as easy as that. Now, I believe, assuming that I have my settings correct, you should also be able to take items between. And yes, I can. Okay, it's all working fine. So now your two servers are acting as multiple worlds of the same server. And you're done. Everything's working fine. Just one word of cautionary advice before this video is done. This plugin does have its limitations. Let's say I carry these roses across from small server to big server. Right now I'm in big server. And I put the roses down. Now I disconnect. Because I logged out on big server, I should log back in on big server. Let's say I didn't. Let's say I log back in on small server. Standing in the gate, automatically teleport. The roses are planted and they're in my inventory. I just duplicated the roses. That's the caution I want to give you. This plugin can duplicate or delete items if used improperly. Just make sure that the users of your server, whichever server they're on when they log out, that's the server they have to log back into. So keep that in mind as you're using this plugin. That's all I have to say. Hopefully this worked for you. If it didn't, I'm sorry. Every network is different. Ask the plugin developer over on bucket.org. He's a really nice guy. I'm sure he'll help you as best as he can. And hopefully, for the most of you, this video helped you figure out how to do it. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful, and see you next time.